Hello Knowing Squad, I am beyond excited to share my recipes with you, and I couldn't start this gold dinner without, first of all, starting with the chocolate. I was measuring here the cacao powder and adding cup per cup because I was not following a recipe. I was just looking for the right consistency. So here I'm adding my second cup of cacao powder and also fourth of a cup of coconut milk powder, some agave syrup to taste. Some may like it more bitter, so I don't follow any recipes. A nice big splash of vanilla. And where else would we be without some Ceylon cinnamon? I mean, this recipe is just amazing. We blend it nicely while I keep checking the consistency and adding more as we go. 2 1/3 cups of coconut oil right into the batch and some coconut milk. I added half a cup for just the beginning. Next, we blend. I felt like it needed some more coconut milk, so we added it into a double boiler. So I have a pot with my glass pot right on top, and I'm squishing and mushing it all together after it was blended in the food processor. Adding more milk as we go. The texture seems to be looking just right, super creamy and smooth. After I cooked the chocolate for about 20 minutes, I added it to the food processor once again for an extra creamy consistency. I got the brilliant idea of adding peanut butter while I was blending, and I cannot describe to you how perfectly they go together. Those are dates and prunes. And why, you may ask? Well, I was on the mission to making chocolate truffles, and I did not want them to be bland or bitter. Here I'm just transferring the chocolate to another plate so it can rest for a bit. Now I'm just oiling up my chocolate silicone molds. Don't mind the gold that was already there. I had made a previous experiment and the gold was way too stuck on the silicone mold, so I decided to leave it for my next round. Now I am carefully placing my 24 karat gold leaf onto my chocolate molds so they can stick onto the coconut oil that I've previously rubbed onto the silicone molds. I graciously piece it out so it can be spread out within all of the chocolate molds. I decided to add an element of surprise by adding hazelnuts in each of the chocolates. Since the heart chocolates were too shallow, I added some caramelized toasted sesame seeds, which were so amazingly flavored. Now we're moving on to my cashews. We are boiling them. With the leftover water after boiling for 15 minutes, I added some agar powder so I can make gel with the leftover cashew water. Now that it's all mixed, I will move on to the next step, which is adding some nutritional yeast into my cashews so the perfect fermented cashew cheese can be made. Now we're just adding some more actually, and black and red black pepper. I cannot describe to you the aroma. You can smell it across the entire house when I freshly blend it. Now we're adding Himalayan sea salt and the gel that I previously made with the cashew water. This is my fermented coconut kefir, so I'm adding it right inside. Now that I'm fully satisfied with the creamy consistency, I'm ready to add it to my silicone molds, which are previously oiled up. Once again, it is time to add the 24 karat gold leaf right into the silicone molds. The secret here, after you've perfectly added them into the silicone molds, is to wrap them with plastic wrap and leave them on the counter for at least a few hours to ferment. Now we're moving on to my sweet potatoes. Actually, my white sweet potatoes. They are on another level. While my sweet potatoes are boiling, I am preparing my chocolate truffles by first of all adding in cacao powder, and creating small balls perfectly for the truffles, rolling them into the perfect little balls. Now I'm fully enrolling the little balls in cacao powder to get the perfect coating. I am back at the potato station to add a couple of chunks of butter because who doesn't love butter? Also adding in some Himalayan sea salt and my favorite black and red black pepper that fills the house with aroma. So fresh because I blended it previously in my coffee blender. Time to mash those potatoes. And finally, some milk. It is tahini time. I'm adding my black pepper, lime, some avocado oil, a bit of water, and now it is time to blend it. Oh, did I forget 24 karat gold leaf? This is the whole point of my party. Adding in not one, but 2 and 3 24 karat gold leaves inside my tahini, my gold tahini. Finally, I'm trying a technique that I saw on TikTok where you put the 24 karat leaf in a cup of water, and then that is how you're going to coat your truffle. But my mistake was the truffle was dry as it was coated with the cacao powder, and also the water got my truffle wet, so I really was not in love with the technique. I did do another one. I still wanted to see if I could get it right, which it really turned out like the previous. I could try this technique on different chocolates that have a stickier outside texture. To save the day, I had my gold sprinkles. They were not 24 karat gold, but they should do for the party. They're candies, gold candies, and I decided to decorate my truffles with them. Aren't they little beauties? Let me know down in the comments if you like them. Switching back to my very flavorful potato puree, I'm trying out different techniques in piping bags with different tips. Now, you will see how this technique failed because after squeezing a little bit, this bag broke on me. So I tried another one and another one, and it just kept on ripping. So that's my first one, guys. My first potato swirl, which actually turned out quite well. But as I kept going, the bag was getting weaker and weaker. If I was not impressed with the technique, I knew my guests would not be impressed with the technique, so I had to try something else that I had in the kitchen. I used my more thicker piping bag, which is a plastic and reusable one. I had a piping tip, which I took out because it was just causing more problems, and I felt like my piping bag would have broke just like the previous plastic ones because of the tip. Somehow the potato puree was just forcing itself out. Meanwhile, I was soaking a lot of chickpeas and I can't wait to show off my cashew fermented cheese bubbling up. Look at that air bubble. Now back to my tahini mix, my 24 karat gold tahini. Looking a bit chunky and thick, but that's how I like it. Now we're moving on to my mixture for the sushi balls. This mixture has mango, red onion, white onion, chayote squash, and a bunch of lime and salt, obviously. I am making a pancake from the rice, adding my tahini and my mango filling. I previously laid down plastic wrap so I can roll it into a ball. Once again, adding the plastic wrap, some rice, tahini, and mango filling. Wrap into a perfect ball and voila. Wait for it to chill and sit overnight so it can actually stick together. It has finally come the time to make my pizza dough, which is not 1, 2, 3, but 4 full cups of almond flour and this psyllium husk gel that I previously made. Not a big deal, just with psyllium husk and water, which is an amazing trick for baking with almond flour since it keeps the consistency all sticking together. Now we're adding in a full jar of kefir milk, fermented kefir milk, some salt, and avocado oil. Also adding in some apple cider vinegar, paprika, and my blend of black pepper with red black pepper. Mixing it all together into the perfect pizza dough. After I wrap my dough in plastic wrap, I like to let it sit on the counter for a few hours just because there is no yeast in the bread, so that is why the probiotics from the kefir milk will help it rise a little bit. And then I strictly, every time, let it chill overnight in the fridge. Now we're coming to the end of the first full day of cooking, where I'm adding all of my spices into the soaked chickpeas that were previously 24 hours, even more, soaked in water with a lot of soda to make them soft. And here I'm adding in my avocado oil. The spices I used are cilantro, Himalayan sea salt, cumin, oregano, black pepper, red black pepper, and garlic. The reason why I made this blend is because I am making falafel tonight, blending in my chickpeas into the right consistency. As always, it has to be grainy. It cannot be hummus. As I previously on Halloween, you could see I made fried hummus balls, which were not bad, but they are not the consistency of falafel. Forgot to add in my lime, but here we go.
Hello Noise Squad, I just came back from this old lady. She gave me all of these tablecloths. I bought them from Facebook Marketplace and she had no change, so I ended up buying 3 tablecloths. You guys, look at this. This literally inspires me to do a Greek dinner. And she also gave me these napkins. Look how amazing they are. Wow, look at them. So yeah, she's very old. Her husband died and now she's going to be selling a lot of her plants and pots and stuff, so I'll go see her again. And let me show you how I set up the couch. So here on this couch I used to have a green leaf, and now I put one of her tablecloths on here, so hopefully she will be happy that I am putting them to good use. She was actually so thrilled and happy that I will really love them and put them to good use. And there are a lot of parties with those beautiful tablecloths. And then I had to, okay, first of all, rewind. This is day 3 of cooking, an actual party day. My hair is still wet, sorry for my entire appearance. I just came out of the shower, my hair is still drying and it looks really flat and weird. I have no volume because it's still moist. Anyway, I woke up at 7:30 in the morning, I cleaned the house, and by then it was 8:30. So then I took a cab, went to go get my tablecloths, which was so crazy. I ordered my Uber to get there and to bring me back. The guy didn't wait for me to come out. Anyway, I had to call an Uber, which was good. I ended up talking to the lady for another 20 minutes, which was a big pleasure. Anyway, we went from there to the fish market and I got 2 kilos of mahi fish. It's called dorado in Spanish, and it's a big green fish. It's beautiful. I'm so sad, that I really don't want to eat animals, but I stopped eating meat in 2015 and just keep it as I'm a pescatarian, I guess is what I can say. Anyway, long story short, we have to do the falafels, the pizza, heat up the rest of the food, fry the fish, grill the veggie, and set up the entire table. So, catch you in the kitchen.
It's falafel time. I always let my falafel mixture sit in the fridge overnight so it can fry without breaking. The technique that I used was to roll a perfect ball and then squish it from the top and the bottom. I only use avocado oil for frying all of my foods. And I'm just frying the falafel to crispy golden brown color. Now it's time to make the pizza, where I uncover the dough that has been chilling overnight, which I do every time that I make pizza. It is very important to do this step since there is no yeast involved. And now I'm just laying it out in a rectangle form. After it has baked for 5 to 10 minutes, I take it out, chill it, and start to add my ingredients, which is a tomato paste first. Next, I'm adding my cashew cheese on the bottom, and this is for a good reason, if you may ask. It is because my next step will be putting on the 24 karat gold. A quick sprinkle of a bit of salt and pepper. And now I am adding on my 15 pieces of 24 karat gold leaf. Now I'm just going to start layering my veggies on top of the 24 karat gold leaf. Adding a light sprinkle of sesame seeds. Quickly moving on to my mahi-mahi fish and adding some kefir milk to help it get more tender before I fry it. I am carefully dipping it into the almond flour so I can have a nice coating before frying. That is the crisp I'm going for. And just adding a quick pinch of salt and pepper. To be able to take out my cashew cheese perfectly out of the silicone molds, I had to freeze them just a little bit before getting them out of the molds, and now you can see that they are perfectly shaped snowflakes.
gold leaf just would not stick to the falafel, so I decided just to sprinkle it all over the place since I couldn't make a fully gold falafel unless I dipped it in honey previously. Maybe I'll do that for another video. Stay tuned. Next time I make these sushi balls, I will have to slightly overboil the rice so it sticks better together. Overall, the taste was amazing, so and for more gold. look who I have here. It's me, the day after the full cooking experience of 3 full days, where day 1 I did cashew cheese and chocolate, the next day I did the prep work. Oh my god, I learned so many secrets just by experience. Honestly, it was the first time I made cashew cheese. It's the first time I made vegan gluten-free pizza. It's the first time I made falafel the way that it worked out. And also my sushi balls and the white sweet potato swirls, you guys. It's so amazing. I saw the videos, but everything in the plate together is honestly a masterpiece. Let me just pat myself on the back. I worked so hard for this, but all of my friends and neighbors really loved it. They loved it. And I have some picky eaters. That's why there is vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free options, because there was a friend that has celiac, another friend has some other issues, and most of my friends are over 50 out here in Mexico, which no judgment, except they just have some health issues, and I wanted my menu to be based around that so they could be happy and healthy and not suffer any indigestion, especially while eating sweet treats as well, chocolates and this and that. So right now we're just gonna have some lunch, and then we're gonna have obviously some dessert, because I have to try some dessert for you guys. So what I have in my plate, come closer and you'll see. Well, I have some golden pizza. Look at that, you guys. Golden pizza. Let me taste test for the 7th or 8th time today. Not today, since yesterday. Oh yeah. And it's the first time my boyfriend has had pizza in his entire life, you guys. That's crazy. Who doesn't have pizza? Under every mushroom, I put an extra cheese ball underneath so it could be super cheesy. And the cashew cheese is fermented. As you saw, it literally was coming out of the glass. The only slight fail were the sushi balls, because I didn't overboil the rice to be sticky rice, so it kind of was falling apart, but I saved it and the taste is great, so I don't mind as long as it tastes good, right? I would still fail, but as long as it tastes good, that's good. It's not too salty, it's not too spicy, it's not too of something, it's perfect. I will be making it again, but guess what? I'm gonna make it in a glass bowl, layered a sushi bowl. Yes, a sushi bowl. So stay tuned for that in the future. And yeah, the grilled veggies, they're so healthy for you. The chayote and the nopal, you should read the health benefits, because honestly, it's so worth it. And the mahi, it has less mercury than salmon and tuna, so I'm definitely only buying mahi for the future. And everything here in the dish was an experiment, you guys. It's the first time I make the white sweet potato swirls. It's the first time I ever make the sushi balls. It's the first time I've ever successfully made falafel. It's not the first time I make maki, it's like the 3rd or 4th. It's the first time I make cashew cheese, and first time I make gluten-free vegan pizza. What? Anyway, this is so good. I can't wait to feast on this. And you know, some of my guests, they were like, oh, this reminded me of Thanksgiving dinner that I haven't had in years. And I was like, oh, thank you for reminding me. I'm going to use that for my video, because honestly, it reminded me of that as well. So we had, how many guests over? We had 2 neighbors on one side, 3 neighbors on this side, 3 neighbors over here. We had like 10 neighbors come, and another few friends from Canada, which ended up being 4 people that came. And you know, I love all of them so dearly, and that they showed up for me, and not only, but they tried everything on the menu. So I was like, thank you. I'm like, I must really love compliments, though it's kind of awkward when they compliment me, because I'm cringing on the inside. I'm like, oh, stop it makes me uncomfortable. But I must love it if I cook so much and just give it to everyone. It's like, come to my party. So the next party I'm planning, you guys, even if I give a spoiler alert, it's fine because the result will be not even something I thought of right now. So the future party is gonna be a sausage party. We're gonna do a little sausage fest. Hilarious, I know. It's gonna be only vegetarian, pescatarian, vegan sausages, you guys, which is so amazing. And I can't wait for that because I got a sausage maker and I cannot wait to use it. I haven't ever made sausages in my life where I really, really want to. And I think that just about sums it up. I have some tips and tricks. Okay, so tips and tricks for the cashew cheese. You leave it out overnight and then you put it in the refrigerator after you see it's gone up a little bit. For the sweet potato, the trick for this is you have to let the sweet potato puree cool before you do the swirls. And then the trick for the sushi balls, you have to wrap them really tightly in the saran wrap for them to stay whole if you're not doing sticky rice. And then the trick for falafel, you guys, I've always messed it up because my chickpeas were always wet before blending. And my personal trick, I turned the oven on, right? And then I turned it off, and while it was still warm, I put in the huge bowl that I had with my chickpeas already strained, but they were still wet, you guys. So I put them in the oven and they dehydrated. They were super dry. There was no moisture on them. And I blended them super dry. And that is why I added my lime at the very end, is because I wanted my mixture to be dry while it's blending, so there's no consistency of hummus. Speaking of hummus, my tahini turned out like hummus, which everyone thought it was hummus. It can't even taste like hummus. It's like tahini hummus, honestly, because I didn't put that much water to make it liquid, so that's how it usually turns out, I guess, if you puree it. And oh my god, the avocado, there was no time to record, you guys. I had no time. I set the table and I was like, I'm missing something. And I made a guac so fast, I could not even get it on camera because it was like chop time. Like people were coming and it was last minute. Let me show you the avocado that I used because I bought 3 and I made guacamole with this huge avocado that I bought from the market down my street. Yeah, this is the size of my face. The size of my face, you guys. It's so big, isn't it? So this was enough for the entire guac with 2 tomatoes, some onion and cilantro. Super nice. Oh my gosh, you guys. The mint in the falafel, you can't even tell that there's mint, honestly, but it tastes very Lebanese. It's the best falafel I've ever had in my life. The way to keep it all solid is to have zero moisture, dehydrate it, and squish it really down when you're making the balls so there's no air bubbles in between, because that is what breaks it off. And honestly, and because there was a celiac in the group, I had to batter the fish with almond flour, which I'll be doing for the future, because the result was absolutely perfect. One of my neighbors said it's the best fish he's ever had in his life. You guys, I'm so happy about that. Anyway, let's not make this video too long because yeah, we had to do so much and I'm really trying to edit it into 1 hour. So we'll see how that goes. Happy watching. Thank you for staying for the entire video. If you've made it this far, thank you. Beyond words, I thank you for watching my video. Please let me know, what was your favorite food? What would you want to try in this lovely plate? And let me know if I inspired you to make a special dinner for a loved one, because everyone that I love just filled my heart with even more love because of how they felt when they ate my food. But until next time, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and as always, happy knowing. Bye, Knowing Squad. Let me just get this grub. Hey guys, before you go, we have some chocolate. We gotta taste test it. Hold on. Let me get this. Golden. Shall we taste test? It's so creamy. Look how squishy that is. It's so soft. Peanut butter. Peanut butter, dates, and prunes, you guys. Chocolate. See you later. I have gold in my teeth. Bye.